Are you ready to take action to attain the lifestyle of your dreams?
It's a great way to make a lot of money fast.
Hey, what's going on, Clever Investors? Sperber here. We are back, and today we are on the road here in sunny San Diego at Billie Jean is Marketing's office. We got the fantastic, the amazing Billie Jean with us. What's up, homie?
I appreciate you, man. Can you just acknowledge that San Diego is the superior city as opposed to anything in hot-ass fucking Arizona? I need acknowledgement.
I would agree.
Thank you.
Weather-wise.
That's it.
I mean, that's it, though.
That's it.
That's all you guys have.
That's all. Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Fine.
That's it. Have you been to Scottsdale?
Touche.
Yeah, I was going to say, dude, a lot of ASU pulls a lot of weight.
Is a blast. I've never had a bad time in Scottsdale. I actually renege on what I said.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, the key is making so much damn money
that you can live in both.
You can have houses wherever you want.
I like that.
All right. So today, look, Billy, you're one of my absolute favorite people in entrepreneurship.
Jesus,
obviously in marketing.
Like close friend or like
yeah. Obviously, well, I was getting there.
Okay.
Obviously in marketing. We become really, really good friends over the years. I love you not for your accomplishments in business. I love you for your energy, your spirit. You're always up for a good time. You're a truly good friend. And I just appreciate you. You're the dude I call when I got to bounce ideas off of. Behind the scenes. It's good to have friends like Billy, guys. If you're not following Billie Jean, by the way, this episode is going to be absolute fire because he's just been through it all.
Seen a lot.
You've gone through a good what, 2 decades?
About 12 years. 33 right now, but I got in the business game early. I failed early.
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah, it was bad.
I think that's important. A lot of, especially on social media nowadays, everybody wants to look good.
Yeah, we could talk L's only if you want. I mean,
no, I think it's good to have both. All right, so let's just start kind of at the beginning for people that don't, they don't know you yet. You run Billie Jean is Marketing. You're an education software company in the marketing space. How did you get the name Billie Jean is Marketing?
Tyler Perry. Tyler fucking Perry. All right, so on the come up, when I came into the digital marketing game and I started as an agency, right? Everybody in there was an old ass white dude, and it was so fucking boring. And all VSLs were just like text and talk. And I'm looking around like, this can't be fucking serious. Is this really the industry? Like, I'm going in this. Like, I love marketing and I want to dominate and beat everybody's ass. It was competitive. But at the time, Tyler Perry was blowing up. Now, this isn't about liking Tyler Perry's movies, but everybody has to respect their strategy. So whenever you film a movie, there's always massive marketing budgets behind it, right? Take like the Avengers. Everyone talks about the sales, but they rarely mention the fact that they spent hundreds of millions of dollars in advertising, right? Well, same goes with most big movies, and Tyler Perry had budget behind him. And he was the only director that I saw make this negotiation. Hey, let's put out the movie, but in the movie title, you have to say Tyler Perry Presents. And so every movie, if y'all remember this, like look at 2009 to 15, whatever it is, it was Tyler Perry Presents Medea's Going to Jail. Tyler Perry Presents My First Husband. Tyler Perry Presents. Tyler Perry Presents. And the next thing you know, he was one of like four directors that you can actually name firsthand. Name directors right the fuck now.
Spielberg.
Yep. Tarantino.
You're putting me on the spot. I don't know.
But that's the point, though. Yeah. That's the point. Is like you can't name that many directors. So to me, that was so fucking smart. Is every single time he put out a movie, now he gets to leverage the millions of dollars that go behind that movie to brand himself, which made him. It was brilliant. So when I was thinking of Billie Jean Marketing or whatever, I was like, nah, Billie Jean is Marketing, because every single time I'm a guest on a podcast, I go on a show, I'm doing a speaking event. When they announce my shit, they say, Billie Jean is Marketing.
Boom.
So everyone is telling with their platforms, their things that I am marketing. And the second person that really inspired me with that is Gordon Ramsay. because Gordon Ramsay is cooking. He's the motherfucker. When you think of cooking anything, it's Gordon. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to own the word.
Brilliant.
No one's even trying to own the word. No one's striving to be the marketer. I will. I'm going to own the fucking word.
Love it. So you just started calling yourself your brand, the
That's
business, putting it all over everything. And then
That's
next
it.
thing you know,
Then it became.
the propaganda machine.
The prophecy was fulfilled.
It made it happen. Yeah, I mean, look, I signed off every video, Cody Sperber, Clever Investor, and it just became one over the years.
That's how that's how I knew you when I first started seeing your ads. Is like, oh, that clever investor guy. But even think about that. As I don't know you, I'm calling you a clever investor.
Yep.
That's a compliment in anybody's book. Like, man, this investor, he's so clever. I'm like, God, you motherfucker.
Yeah, I tried for a while. The sexy investor. I threw out, big dick investor. None of them stuck.
Especially that one.
Yeah, that one.
And that's the thing
was
about being
real
honest in
propaganda.
marketing,
Nobody bought or sold houses with me. It didn't pull.
Can you imagine if you were the big dick investor?
If I had that big of a dick, I'd probably roll.
But I'm gonna be
around
honest
dicks. I'd
though.
be like,
But even think about that. Like, you really probably will blow up. Like, imagine if you did all your listings and shit and just like basketball shorts, and you just saw the outline of the sweatpants.
So what would the tagline be like?
Just
we
the
go
sweatpants.
we go hard.
Okay, look,
we go hard with houses.
Well, no, this
We got-
the best thing ever. So I played on this pickup football team, and I played with my cousin's friends, and then all of a sudden we like make it to the championship, and the ref says our names, and I said, "That's our fucking team name," and it was the Sweatpant Boners. I was like, "This is fucking great. This is the dopest name ever." But I'm saying, like, the big dick investor, who would not know that guy?
You would pretty much, yeah.
I'm just saying, someone try it. If you're watching right now, give it a shot. The big dick investor.
You better pack though. Like you got to literally have like a baby arm holding an apple. Like
Maybe.
it's got to be legit.
Or
'Cause
just get the right sweatpants.
Well, it could be an optical illusion.
You know?
It could be the pleats.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, all right. So you're now Billie Jean is marketing.
Big dick marketing.
The GoDaddy guy, he's kind of like that. He
when he put like all the girls in the videos and
well,
stuff?
no. Just like his form of marketing is very aggressive like that, where it's like, like he now owns PXG. He's like, the best.
What's PXG?
Golf clubs.
Oh,
Super expensive ass.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I got a pair. I played him twice. The
That guy.
guy sold me. So, you roll into the.
Wait, how rich is he? He's GoDaddy.
The GoDaddy
rich.
dude?
He's GoDaddy. That's
Oh,
billion.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
No,
he's
he's
real
way up there. He owns like half of Scottsdale. But anyway, he started PXG, and his marketing is kind of like nobody makes golf clubs better than me. That's like,
cool.
Kind of like, all right, your Billie Jean is marketing now.
Yeah.
Do you worry that you can't be anything else? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's life after
yeah.
Billie Jean is marketing? Like, are you always like, how do you sell that brand? What's the game plan? Because you're at the top of the game in the marketing education space.
Yeah, in that small world, right? I think it's more like making the sport bigger. So, for example, like when Tony Hawk, right? When Tony Hawk gets into skating, well, skating's dinky. Nobody gave a fuck about skating, but then skating blew up, and now he's the face of this dinky thing. But now it's this big thing, to the point where when they made a video game, they go to Tony Hawk because there wasn't a lot of players in the field. He was the guy. So all the opportunities came. Right now, you got two things happening. Entrepreneurship is now popular over the last decade, and I think it's going to continue to grow as athletes and musicians continue to cross over there. And when they do, what's like the first subcategory of entrepreneurship? Marketing, right? Like everyone calls it the word market. I mean, truth be told, I'm not even a fucking marketer. I'm an advertiser, right? Like,
what's the difference?
I think marketing. Yeah, let me explain. That's a good question. I think marketing is the big umbrella of everything that it takes to like get customers or build brand. So for example, people see somebody like do a crazy PR stunt, like Kanye, man, he's such a good marketer. No, specifically, he's great at PR. That's a great public relations stunt. He's great at manipulating media, or he's great at getting attention, or he's great at getting people to write about them, which is a form of marketing, right? So it's not wrong. It's just marketing is so fucking broad. Like imagine if someone said like he's good at fitness. Like, nope. People will be like, what does that mean? You can't even, like, what does that mean? Is he good? Is he fit fast? Is he a bodybuilder? Is he good eating? What does that mean? So I think that's where marketing is at, is everyone's just tossing shit on it. So The leg that I go on is advertising. I'm the one who pays platforms to show shit to people. And then I make more than I spend. That's what I do.
Yeah.
I actually own the name Billie Jean's Advertising because I was thinking about a brand switch.
Okay.
But it wasn't as big. And I don't care about selling it either.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you're bigger than advertising too.
Yeah, I think
when I think of your potential,
yeah.
I think.
Well, look, Gordon Ramsay is bigger than food now, but you still know him as the food guy. Elon is bigger than Tesla. He's still Tesla, but he used to be the PayPal guy. So I think whatever venture I'm on will be the focus. And I think I'll take over Billie Jean. But from an SEO standpoint, Michael Jackson really fucked me with that. Seriously, like it really owns the SEO of it. So I think is
all right. So quick question on the marketing side. I'm a new business, right? And this pertains to real estate investors, anybody starting a new business. What's more important out of the gates, brand or customers?
Customers. It just doesn't exist without it.
Okay.
Right. Like there's no, you have to make money to survive. I think people get so caught up in, oh, well, that was good brand exposure. You have to pay your fucking bills. You have to pay your fucking team. You have to pay to live. To me, like it starts with money, unless you and I go into something, right? You and I go to something at this point in our careers, it actually isn't money right away because whatever little money came from it at first wouldn't be exciting to us. We're like, we need some big picture. So we would probably both be like, fuck it. Let's go all in. Let's build up the brand and get a big ass fucking check.
All right. So, but I see people making this mistake all the time and it drives me kind of crazy. They're like, I got to get on Instagram. I got to get 20,000 followers. I got to get engagement going. Well, in their mind, they're thinking, okay, I'm building a little brand. I'm going to get it out there. But,
bro,
they're not converting. They're not converting any of that into sales, into customers, right? And they're not even posting.
No, dude, that's like playing the fucking game and losing and saying, yeah, man, but I played hard. I gave it my all. You fucking lost. You fucking lost. Same thing. It's like, hey, we didn't get any sales from that event, but our name got out there. Shut the fuck up. You caught an L. Right? And I say that because when people don't own the fact that they caught an L, they don't do anything to change it. It's like you should be asking yourself, what could you have done better to get the brand exposure and brought the money in? How could you have done both? Stop acting like everything is either or. You can do both. You can build brand while you're building money. Matter of fact, I would argue that everything that you do shapes someone's perception of your brand. Every fucking post is your brand. Every appearance, every speaking gig, that is a collection of your brand. It's just what people see. I like advertising because you get to choose what people see. You know what I mean? Like, and most companies are too small where other people are talking about you. So the only stories about you on the internet are the ones that you put out. So how could you not have a fucking amazing brand? You're making it up. You make it up. Just think about that, right? Like, I love when people come up to me like, oh, how you want to perceive? It's like, my brand is perceived how the fuck I want it to perceive. All you guys see is ads of me. I got like fucking 2 posts on IG and like jack shit on YouTube. You are what the fuck I tell you I am. That's who I am. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's why I like advertising. You control your whole narrative, So when you're picking at your new business and you're picking a platform to dominate, where would you push them? I think you have to self-audit and say, like, what are you actually good at? You know what I mean? So, for example, you're a video guy. So am I. We're unicorns in that sense. Most people don't like to do videos. You know what I mean? So if you're a writer, probably Facebook. If you're, a pictures guy, Instagram. If you're a video guy, maybe YouTube or now TikTok, right? If you like to twerk and shake that ass, definitely TikTok. If you're the big dick investor, TikTok.
You know what's interesting about
Reels.
TikTok? I'm seeing more and more older.
TikTok.
If you're the big dick investor, I'm seeing more older people get on TikTok right now, and they're doing really well. They're doing well.
So and imagine showing a house you wear sweatpants every time, Cody. It would just kill it. Sorry, go ahead.
If you are scared of TikTok, you shouldn't be right now. The views are crazy. I don't know what the outcome is for those people that are getting the views. I don't know if it's translating into any sales.
Right.
But I have some people in our OSNAP downline.
Yeah. Are crushing it.
50, 55 years old, never done social media ever before. They're just running around handing people Surge, saying, hey, try this. And then filming them and then just putting it all. They don't even edit the video. It's like so shitty. And they put it on TikTok and they're getting people saying, what is that? How does that work? And since it's a network marketing business, they're like, oh, you want me to send you a sample? Yeah, send me a sample. And then he gets downline. He builds his team.
You know what's fun about that is I like how the marketplace is rewarding. What's the opposite of perfection? Like just raw. Like right now on almost every platform, the videos that are just like you and I, like on a selfie, like even this, like we're all fancy with our cameras and shit right now. But like the ones that are really getting play on social are just the hold up your cell phone and go. I think people have a really adverse reaction to polished. People really get mad. Like nobody, like you just immediately don't trust it, right? Nobody trusts the news anymore. Nobody, the fake everything. Like, so the second that they see you being polished, they're just like, what are you trying to sell me? This is fake. Like, and people aren't paying attention to that. But my best ads right now are single cam or cell phone, just talking to the fucking camera.
The biggest feedback I get with my older ads that were either teleprompted or scripted out, and it was kind of like I was more like an actor in them, was that it's car salesman-y. You have too much energy, you're coming out too aggressive and all this. I mean, I made a ton of money from those ads, so it was working. The best ones are always the super raw.
It is.
The off the cuff raw. And I think the pendulum swings.
Because imagine wearing a condom.
People got super annoyed with the polished.
I think the game just changed, and you gotta adapt. Like, you know what I mean? Like condoms used to be cool. Now it's raw dog. Like it just
what
changed.
About what all right, so let's talk about the game. You've been in for 12 years.
Yeah.
What was the biggest fucking mistake you made early
Paying
on?
$50,000 for free software when I first started. Going,
Dude, I want you as a customer. Like, hey, this software is free, but it's $50,000. I'll take it.
But like, I just didn't know. So I wanted this like online education platform. This is before I was teaching. I was licensing these other courses to help people quit smoking with Paul actually here. And there was this platform called Moodle where it allowed you to host courses. But think about it. If you don't know, and it's not
Moodle didn't make it.
Yeah, but if you,
because I've never even heard of that shit. Moodle.
I think it was big in Australia. But like, if you don't know anything about like building websites, etc., you usually just believe the first person that catches you, right? They tell you about the industry. You think that's what it is. So, anyways, there was these sick website designers, and they're like, "Yeah, we can do Moodle, but it's going to end up costing you all this money." And I realized they were charging me not for the platform, which was free. It's just to actually take the time to customize it. But like, if I knew that, I could have fucking customized, you know what I mean? So when I figured that out, like later, a couple years later, I was just like, damn. Man, my arrogance, my arrogance and my ignorance.
Dude,
really
how the hell did you get
me.
50 G's? You were making it, you were paying them over time, you were making it, and then
friends selling drugs.
Dude, what game are you running?
No, like
Billy was always a hustler.
Nah, I mean,
I sold drugs. I mean, it is.
Yeah, I mean, like
great way to start.
I didn't. I was the homie that
you learn a lot.
I was the quote like smart homie. It was like, oh, this Billy, he stays clean, he's on his shit. But when people have money and they wanted to do something with it, hey, what can we do here?
So they would make it and come to you and say, what else can we get into? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know where they got the money. Maybe I'm just making that up. Who knows? But supposedly there's, anyways, I got money and I got a little bit, and that's where.
I was never a good drug dealer because I used drugs, which was always a problem.
Yeah.
You smoke your own weed, you're like, this is not going well.
Yeah. I mean, I just use like, honestly, like friends and family type of shit, like to get the money. And I literally blew it all on that
Billy,
website.
I flew pre 9/11, obviously, flew to Kansas with a book of acid.
Why were you going to Kansas?
You know what a fucking book is?
Stop.
That's 100 sheets.
Wait, first of all, you got to educate me on that. But why are you going to Kansas?
Dude, my best friend at the time, his mom lived in Kansas, and he was like, yo, you want to go to Kansas? And I'm like,
fuck it.
All right.
Wait, 100 sheets of how does that work?
He goes, bring some acid. And I was like, all right, I wasn't thinking. I was a dumbass kid.
Yeah.
I think I was 15, 16. And I had a plug that had all kinds of shit.
Wait, what is 100 sheets of acid? What does that mean?
So I had microdots. I had 100. So acid comes on a little piece, like it's like a little square, right? And it's liquid that they put on a certain type of paper,
Gotcha.
and it soaks into the paper, and then you just put it on your mouth, and it dissolves, right? And one little square, okay?
Do people put it in water and it dissolves in
No,
water?
no, you just put it in your mouth.
Okay.
Okay.
Pause.
One sheet has 100 squares on it.
Oh, shit.
A book has 100 sheets.
Oh, my God. How much does that cost?
I don't even fucking remember.
What's the resale market value?
No, it was a lot. I don't remember.
How did you get that?
I don't remember. Yeah, I was selling a lot of drugs at the
Oh,
time.
you were selling? Okay, got
I was
it.
selling. So I started.
How much
with
money were you making?
Enough to party.
Wait, I mean, how? Like, really?
No,
though?
I was
15,
never
You're rich.
No, not that. I mean, I had money, but I wasn't like balling out. But I also wasn't. Yeah, mainly weed. The acid thing was like a random, like one-off type thing. But literally, this is how bad of a drug dealer I am. I went to Kansas and I gave it to everybody. I didn't even sell it. I was just like, dude. In like half this town was like, this town was like literally like 1,000 people strong. Like half of them were high. It was fucking great. And we were standing there, and there was this kid named Bucky who was my friend Brian's friend. And I'm saying, Bucky's like, we got to go outside. And he like started tripping. And so he ran outside, and I chased after him. I don't know why. And I'm standing outside. It was just about to go dark. And there's fucking sheep and like ducks crossing the road and like all this wild shit. And I'm looking around and I'm like, oh my God, half the town's walking around all fucking loop.
Wait, okay, hold on. Let me ask you this.
This is a true story. And it was.
I'm going to parlay off that. So a lot of Caucasian, you know, I found like, so, you know, I'm writing my book, Rich White People's Secrets, A Black Man's Guide to His First Million plug. But what is up with this fascination of white dudes loving drugs when they're successful? So you're like poor. Like I understand poor white guys doing drugs and selling it, et cetera, or getting into the game or any color for that matter. But there's this overwhelming trend of, I don't want to say they're bored as fuck. I don't want to say they just have, I don't know. I don't understand it. But there's this obsession, and I see it. Well, I don't want to say most because that would be stereotyping, but most successful white guys.
We like to stereotype on the Clever Investor
100%,
show.
yes. Most successful white guys love to dabble with either ayahuasca, how the fuck I say it, LSD, mushrooms.
Well, that's a whole nother. That's more spiritual. I think that's for a different journey.
Is it? Or is that the marketing? Is that the marketing of it?
Have you ever done acid?
No, that's what I'm asking you.
So, dude, it's the most creative, mind-bending, great thing that you can ever experience. Shrooms, acid, any psychedelic like that.
See, this is what I hear from the white people. So explain that.
Yeah, it just I used to think a certain way until I took shrooms.
So help me. What does that mean tangibly?
We got to do it, dude. We got to do it. You got to do it.
It won't happen. But tell me about it.
Here's why. You're a creative dude.
Yeah.
There's another dimension.
Yeah, I hear that, but I need
it's not explainable.
Break it down to me.
Everyone
says the same thing. You can't explain it. You gotta experience it.
All right, hold on, Billy. What's it like to be black?
You gotta experience.
Yeah, you could never transfer. The true feeling.
I can tell you examples of it,
some adjectives or some shit, but it's not gonna resonate with me until you experience it.
But I guess it's hard for me to understand. So my thing is this. Is I don't deny the benefits because it's overwhelming of how many people have shared that same breakdown that you just gave.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. To me, see, I just had a very different introduction to drugs. Drugs, when I was coming up, it was like your uncle came over and was so fucked up, it was like embarrassing and scary. So all the grandkids, 54 of us, mind you, my mom was 113, little tiny house, uncle comes over, fucking tweaking out, doing weird shit, etc. Your mom comes, picks you up because you can't trust the aunts and uncles. I didn't get until I went to University of San Diego, which is 97% white school. And this wasn't all white people thing, but it was. That was new to me. People like, hey man, you want to do some lines? I'm like, nah, do you guys know what that does? To me, I've seen such the bad side.
It hurt the community.
Well, hold on. And then they always have the nerves. When I say they, I'm talking about white people. They always have the nerves will say something along the lines of, well, it only gets like that if you're an idiot. As if any alcoholic or druggie ever started off. The people who always fall the hardest are the people who think they can just do it responsibly all the time. But I just want to understand, is it the potential consequence of it worth the...
No. Here's the thing. First off, for everybody listening, I don't do drugs anymore. No, this is serious. I was lucky. I started very, very young. I started smoking weed in 7th grade.
Okay. Word.
So started smoking weed, that graduate, right? Like you start smoking, oh, what else is out there? And then you see some coke and you try that. I was lucky. Every time I tried anything other than ecstasy, shrooms, acid, or weed.
What else is there? Heroin?
No, yeah, like crystal meth, any of the hard shit, which I tried it all.
Oh, wow.
I got really sick and I didn't like it. And I didn't like being out of control and I didn't like the way I felt and I didn't like the way I felt the next day. So I got lucky where I was able to like just kind of say, that's not for me.
Got it.
But ecstasy and acid and shrooms and like ayahuasca, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's just it's a different experience. And the only way I could probably explain it is it's like putting gasoline on creativity. You start to look at things different. Like no doesn't mean no to me. Like when you take shrooms, you see patterns and you realize that the chemicals in your brain, when they're released a certain way, changes your vision, changes your smell, changes your senses. And you start to think like, dude, there's gotta be aliens. There's gotta be something. There's gotta be God.
See, this time I'm getting it.
Like now there's gotta be more because what I thought I knew isn't all of the story. There's more story that I need to discover. And you just take it and the chemicals release and you realize, holy shit, that wall literally fucking moves. Why? How is that happening?
Okay, so let me ask you this.
So when I think about other dimensions, when I think about aliens, when I think about God, I'm like, dude, why can't it? Yeah, absolutely.
Which I like that, and I like that creative part. So something so great sounding, how do you go back to normal life after that?
Well, I think, I mean,
like
look, anything in excess is bad, even money. Everything, anything in excess can be bad. So I'm not a proponent of people doing hard drugs or lots of drugs, but I do think that.
But this is where we get dangerous. So like this is the part where I think I get the most gray, which is that like Carmen, like, hey, anything in excess there, and everyone listening, they nod their head, of course. But at what point do we identify as this something that could have a really, really dark side? Like, this is the whole like why just being respectful.
You overworking is a dark side. You excessing over anything has a dark side.
Yeah, I agree. So that's why you shouldn't do it.
So I mean, but should you be able to smoke a bowl and enjoy?
I don't smoke. I don't know.
Should you be able to go on a trip to Costa Rica in a controlled environment?
I think the worst one is alcohol.
Oh, 100%.
And I fucking love it. Like, I get it, but my thing is, like, I know that's a vice. I'm not trying to add more.
If you ever want to hang out with Billy, just bring a case of Truly.
But I'm saying, like, I would
for whatever reason.
More. All right, so going
that's the most manly drink.
Oh my god!
Why?
I told you I went to school with a bunch of basic white girls. I understand the Truly game.
All right, let's get back on track.
Smirnoffs.
Let's get back on track. So many of our listeners reach out and they ask us how they can get involved in my actual real estate deals. We got a lot going on here right now, from developing and owning multifamily to developing new subdivisions to assisted living facilities, storage facilities, mobile home parks. Our investment firm specializes in finding deeply discounted properties, acquiring them, sometimes knocking them down and building from the ground up, renovating, stabilizing both single-family and multifamily properties all over the United States. That's why we're so excited to share with you clevercapitalfund.com. Now, if you have some investment capital, lazy money laying around, and you want to deploy it and receive double-digit returns backed by real estate, then visit our website and see which fund is right for you. We have both equity funds where you can participate in the upside, and we have like debt funds where you just get paid out every month like clockwork. All you got to do is visit www.clevercapitalfund.com today to learn more. How did you make your first million? Did you do one thing over and over, rinse and repeat, and just put the blinders on and just over a year or 2 years you just dominated?
I didn't like,
or were you side hustling your way there?
No, it wasn't draft day where there's just $1 million check. I probably paused because it's like, look and just like, oh, there's $1 million, right? I just kept selling. Yeah, I was just selling agency shit straight up. And when my thing is that my timing in the Facebook game was early. I just knew how to make Facebook works to get customers. Simple as
Did
that.
Facebook make you a millionaire?
Yes.
Damn.
Yes. 100%. That's a good question. Yes.
All right. So running ads on Facebook.
That's it. And then I ran an ad for myself. Honestly, if I'm being really specific, I ran an ad for myself showing a case study that I did on a video on my cell phone that I edited, that I got the tripod for, that I did everything for. And how did I learn how to do those things? Fucking Googling. And luckily, people put up great content for me to learn from. Notice I didn't say I was self-taught. Someone else put out content that I learned from, and I learned from them. So shout out to all those people. But then I ran this campaign that said, hey, here's what I did for Facebook ads for this client. If you want me to do the same for you, click the button below and get on my calendar. And that funnel.
And you took the call.
And I took the call.
You closed the
I
deal.
did everything. Every single person in my company, I've done their job. All of it. Every single one. And so I got a lead. And I remember the first day I ran that funnel, I made $10,000 the next day. And I just kept repeating. I kept repeating. And then that turned into some dope franchises like Orange Theory Fitness, and did like 300 of their locations. That turned into Massage Envy. That turned into like a Kia dealership here in San Diego, a Dave & Buster's, everything. I kept doing agency stuff for years. People wanted me to teach them, and I do some coaching consulting on the side.
One success opened up another door.
That was it. But it was all the same thing. The request changed though. Some people, I remember one of the Orange Theory Fitness owners was like, hey man, do you mind just show me how to do what you do? And I'm like, kind of, motherfucker. This is how I do it.
That's my secret sauce.
I kind of do mine. You know, then he threw money at me, which I think was like $1,000 for an hour. And I said, what? You'll pay me $1,000 to show you? I'll suck your dick too. Hop on the phone. Let's go.
Right.
And then I sucked his
Billie
dick.
Jean is marketing. The business is born.
But I learned, I was like, oh, that's consulting. So I got in consulting because someone asked me to do it. And then someone said, do you have a course? I'm like, no. And he's like, oh, because I have a bunch of people who would buy it. I made a course. Now I had a course. And I actually hated education in the beginning because I was like, I just want to do the agency shit. I want to deal with none of this nonsense. So for many years, probably about 4 or 5, I just got good at my skill set, which is really backwards for people because most people don't want to get a skill set first. And then I remember my boy Mike Cooch was like, hey, will you do a webinar for my people? His last name is Cooch, and he's one of the dopest business people there.
It sounded like you said Mike Cooch.
Oh no, Mike Cooch, but it does sound
That's
like
some shit like my son would call in and be like, to the
Mike
airport.
Cooch.
Yeah, we need to page Mike Cooch.
So yes, I call him and he's like, yo, will you do a webinar for my people and show them what you're doing? They have agencies.
And you're like,
And I said, yeah. And then I made an offer at the end and we made $83,000 in that hour. And I said,
now you're on. Now you get it.
I once it hit, I said, let's go. But then also something else happened is in the agency, you know, there's some dope things about it that I always love. And that's why I always probably have it as part of my arsenal. But people weren't as appreciative for some reason when you do it for them. There were times, but when you taught someone the skill set, I'd get these fucking Facebook messages like, yo, this changed my life. Da, da, da. And I'm like, wow, well, that's cool because I made a lot of money too. And you're winning? Oh, we got a win-win here where we're both on top? Okay, let me do this webinar shit again. And the next thing you know, 160,000 students, 75 countries.
Think about this. I think the average American makes around 40 grand a year.
Mm-hmm.
You teach them how to make an extra G.
It's life-changing.
Dude, 1 G.
Yep.
Life change. You were like, I made $83,000 in an hour. To them, 1 G changes everything. They're like, oh my God, I could do this again. So it's not like the bar was like 83 grand. It's like, teach me how to make $1,000 extra a month. Once they figure that out, it's like, oh, I could do that. I can maybe make 2. I can maybe make 5. And I remember on my real estate come up, I was at the time a bookkeeper making 34 or 36,000, I forget, per year.
Wow.
And I put on my wall, if I could just make $4,000 a month consistently wholesaling houses, that's like my heaven, my freedom. I can quit bookkeeping, do real estate full time. Can you imagine? If only I can make $4,000 a month. That was where I first set the first bar. And
now it's your Lambo payment.
Dude, there is a conversation.
Hey, you want to tell Dan to come in here?
Yeah, there is a conversation around perception of money. We'll get to that here in a second. But yeah, it was a power move for you to help people create those win-wins. But now here's the thing. I've watched you scale this business, and we've been lucky enough to be friends as you've been growing this empire, hiring, training, new divisions, new offers, just all these new ideas. What was some of the mistakes you made in the first few years besides the $50,000 software? Like, what, like, have you ever lost $1 million? Have you ever spent money on something, like literally big money, and it failed? Have you been sued? Have you?
Let's talk about all of that.
Yeah, just hit us with some of the real shit.
Real quick. I'll hit you with that real shit, but I want to circle back real quick to seeing that content of what was possible, like another 4,000. I'll never forget. I was online and I saw this interview with Frank Kern and Tony Robbins. And Frank Kern was with somebody who was talking about they did $1 million launch. And I remember just obsessing about that moment. Oh my God, these motherfuckers made $1 million. I was beside myself, and that really blazed the fucking path. Now, fast forwarding, yes, you know, we've made sales and shit and had $1 million, et cetera. I think my best day was like in the account, we made 365 grand on that day, and then 225 the next day. But you want to hear the crazy thing is it was the least amount of work that I ever had to put forward, because it was when we did a blowout sale on all our courses. And literally it was, here's an email with, mind you, 7 years of gangster shit. It was the best fucking value that's on the internet still today, probably. But it was, I remember sitting in my couch, Vince Reed came over and we were posted up. I was like, nigga, I just made $500,000 and I've been playing Xbox all day, bro. All fucking day. We just been playing Xbox like a motherfucker. And it broke my brain. In some ways bad. But it broke my brain.
Yeah, how do you bounce back from that?
What was hard to bounce back from is not the amount, right? I could find ways to invest, spend the money in a second. The hard part was the how. It was the email for dollars. Simple. But the part, like now it's like, someone asked me to speak in London, 40 grand. And I'm like, no, I got to go across the fucking sea. I got to fucking pay for my team. I'm going to stay in a bougie place. Like, I broke it down. I was like, no, because everything is compared now to.
You got a new boss.
I sent an email and got money. Now it's like, hey, Billy, 100 grand. Will you build out this campaign for you? No, I won't. Like, you know, like it doesn't, because it broke my brain of how I make money. In the same way, when my fucking buddy Ryan Emerson Warnock, shout out to my guy, asked me to work at the cafeteria with him when we were at the University of San Diego, I said no because it was $8 an hour. But I only said no because the previous summer I made 20 grand in 3 months selling cars. So I said, you want me to go serve people fucking sandwiches and fucking jack them off with mayo or whatever that process entails, when I can go to the car lot and I can get a 2G commission? It broke my brain. And those micro wins, I think everybody needs to obsess with. It's not the $1 million shot that you need. It needs to be just the one piece of cash where you enjoyed earning it so much, you're forever just on that mission to go.
That's why I love real estate.
So yeah, and I've never had, and that's where, like,
all right.
You guys imagine me, like, and going back to the investing in real estate. Imagine me having all these real estate friends and never doing it, because I had never had that moment Cody has, and it still puts fear into my soul.
So, you know, Billy, in the last like 10 or 15 minutes, I'm just going to fillet you for not putting your money to work. Because one thing that you're great at making money. You make making money fun. You are creative. You're a great storyteller. You produce at the highest levels. I see you make a lot of money. And then I told you from very early on, I said, Billy, I'm just a few years ahead of you on the education train. I see the movie already playing out for you.
You did.
You're gonna blow this office up. You're gonna hire all these people. You're gonna want more. You're gonna expand. Always expansion. Always more. And the challenge with the education world is more isn't equaling happiness.
That's true.
And so I just started harping on you. You got to invest. You got to invest some of this money. You got to start putting money in real estate. Before I yell at you for the not investing part of it, let's talk about some of the fun shit you did buy, because I think it is cool.
Okay.
Because you got your license plate says I'm black.
It does.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, I can say nigga. Yeah, I mean, like that's what.
Was that already taken?
You had to put it on plates. I mean, it was because, like I said, Southeast San Diego, you never saw a Lambo. I'd never seen a Lambo before, or like anything like it. And in Southeast San Diego, Paul tell you, or Like, you're Mexican, you're black, or you're Paul, which is one of the white boy that was with everybody who wasn't. And you just never saw, Dan, you know, Southeast Asia, like you just never saw.
What was that moment like for you to go to the dealership and pick that up?
It was fucking amazing, but I got the plates because I just wanted to show people that it was possible. Like when they were drawing it, like it was either I'm black or I'm not an old white guy, but that didn't fit on the plates. It was too many letters. So I had to go when I'm black. I just want to let people know. And even now when I drive my shit, I still get people will follow me. It's dangerous. Follow me and honk and have to weigh me down. I'm like, bitch, if you don't pay attention to the road, but I get it. I appreciate the love. Like, it really is a symbol, but a lot of people don't get that because they've seen this stuff where they're like, yeah, it doesn't really matter. It shouldn't matter because it was unattainable. It was a milestone. So when I first got my first nice car, I think it was a Bentley. It was the greatest thing ever. You know,
who was the first person you showed it to?
I drove to my dad's house. I got it on camera. I put it in an ad and it killed it. And it still kills it today. And this was years ago.
I love that.
But my dad was like, whoa, you know, because for him, it's like he grew up in that. I got lucky. My parents took me out of that. But my dad grew up in that. So he's like, my son is the one coming out, you know, on some game. Like, this is crazy. So it was an inspiration, a milestone. So it was fucking phenomenal. And it was addiction. And then I got a fucking Bentley, and then I got a fucking Tesla with the little SUV one with the doors came up, a spaceship, and that motherfucker drives itself. That was just cool to have. And then I got a Ferrari, the California. And then as you start making more money, you realize like you got the weakest Ferrari in the game.
You called me and said, I'm about to buy this Ferrari. Should I get it?
Yeah, I did.
What did I tell you?
You probably said no and yes at the same time.
I said no. That's the dumbest money, and it's a whack ass Ferrari. But yes, you should get it because that shit sounds fun.
That's exactly what it was, right? It was stupid, but also too, I will tell you, like, then got the Lambos. I had a white one, a black one. But I will tell you guys this. Now, here I am, 33.
You're an equal opportunity Lambo driver?
I am. I had to get a white one because I didn't want to be completely racist, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, I had to think, like, now 33, actually, you know how like these cars, no one can find them right now because the car shortage and all that. Dealership calls me and asks me to buy for like 30 over. They're like, yeah, we'll pay it off for you.
They want to buy it back?
Yes. Like, and I'll just give you a 30 grand check to take it. I almost did it. I literally said yes. And I was playing on my headset with my cousin and we were playing Madden. And he goes, cuz, next time you pull out and you go somewhere and you don't have your lemon, how mad are you going to be? And I'm like, I'm going to be pissed. And he's like, call that nigga back right now. So I call him back. And I was like, I'm done. And he was already driving down. This just happened like a couple months ago. And it was true. Like but the thing is I live down the street from my fucking office. I never drive. These things are officially a waste of money. Like, I don't know if you should sell it to the dealership, but you should sell it right now because you can get more. Mm-hmm. I did the opposite. I buy Lambos and then I sell them for $100,000 loss. That's how good I am at buying cars. So I'm done with that shit. No, seriously. I bought my first one. Then I put $100,000 worth of exhaust, accessory, all this engine tuning, all this shit. Drove it, put it in all the ads. I made a fortune. Off. I mean, I made money. But then when I sold it, it went down. It went down. How much did it help your ads? We both put our Lambos in ads.
Oh, it smashed. I made millions. Yep. I mean, it definitely paid for itself. But then the Performante I bought new, which was the mistake.
And then you got fucked.
I really fucked because I sold it in 2019 when all that shit was going down with China.
Yeah.
And I said, I said
some racist things. That was the most racist comment of the day, though.
I just like the way, I don't want Trump back per se, but I do like the way he says China. It's just fucked up.
Wait, okay, hold on.
You
know what I want to point out about the cars? And I just want to go on record of saying this, is right now, you have this person who is not living to their potential in life, barely getting by. And their favorite comment to a millionaire is to say a billionaire would never buy a Lambo. But what I want to point out to everyone is, one, that's a fuckboy on the sidelines commenting about other people. It's the lowest form of humanity. You're talking about other people and you're not a doer. You're a talker. There's that. But then the second component is the reason why these people don't buy Lambos, the billionaires, isn't because they're on some high horse of, I'm Warren Buffett and I still drive my Saturn. It's because everybody caters to who they respect. Billionaires respect other billionaires, and since they can all buy a fucking Lambo, nobody cares. So instead, they stretch their dicks by buying $45 million private jets.
Or islands.
Or fucking islands. Or let's race to space because I'm that fucking rich and bored. So everyone suck a dick as if anyone's righteous enough to not, but a Lambo, they're just, peers don't respect it. And also too, what happens is people have been there, done that. You're forgetting the part is they age. Having a Lambo in your 40s is not as fun as it is in your 20s when everybody's going to the club and you want to pull up and stun on hoes. That shit's fun. But when you're 40, you're like, you're fucking got your kids and shit. And like, people are like, what are you doing? They could grow up. So the peer group you respect doesn't do it anymore. It's not because you're so fucking wise. It's just not cool. Just nobody does not cool things. So here I am coming up to the point of like, all right, this 33 Lambo shit was pretty cool. But my peer group, they got Lambos and it's not that cool anymore. It doesn't tickle my balls the same way it used to.
You should sell it for sure. If you can make money. I sold right in 2019.
It's rare. It's a rare time in history.
A guy beat me up a little bit. I sold it at $100,000 loss total, $100,000. I thought I was actually smart for dumping it right before coronavirus hit. I sold all my commercial, all my real estate, got cash heavy, sat on the sidelines, and everything went up.
Ooh. How did that feel?
You know,
because
I'm older. I'm older. So look, I'm in my 40s.
That's a plus 130 swing.
Yeah, I know. I'm in my 40s. I went through the real estate crash in 2008. I've watched a lot of my friends get put out of business, lose everything. I made tens of millions of dollars when it crashed, buying assets from people who fucked up.
Wow.
So I was like, dude, worst case scenario, I'm cash heavy. I could buy back in. It's going to be okay. But if I nail this, the market's going to tank. I'm going to buy all these cheap assets. Everything went up. No, I couldn't. If you would have asked me in February of 2020, what's going to happen? I would have said the world's going to crash. I think I put out a YouTube video. It got a ton of views, and I was wrong.
It aged very well.
Everything went up. The good news is I bought back in.
So you think I should sell both Lambos right now?
Yes.
It's the only,
here's why.
It's the only time I've ever seen a car appreciate.
Absolutely, you should. And look, I'm trying to sell this watch right now. I'm trying to sell everything.
For what?
Because I'm on this bender right now. It's like, dude.
Oh, your Airbnbs?
Everybody's telling you the path. You're just not listening.
That's true.
Everybody's telling you it's all about cash flow. Listen to Grant Cardone right now. This guy's fucking skyrocketing to $1 billion hood right before our eyes.
We were talking about a deal yesterday.
Buying hundreds of millions of dollars worth of assets every couple months. Like, it's ridiculous how good. He's either the fucking genius or he's going to jail. One of those two things. Right? Because like, he's so good at leveraging other people's money and buying assets. But what I love about real estate, and this is me just talking to you for the 100th time, but now on air. If you don't buy real estate, you're paying way too much in taxes. You're in the earned income bucket. And you're making a killing, and you're always going to make a killing because you're great at making money. But you're getting fucked.
That's true.
You're never going to be wealthy, Billy.
So
nobody's going to buy Billy Gina's marketing.
I'm not against, but this is the thing. I'm not against investing. Let's make that different, right? Like, I also like partnered in 3 different companies, right, that I have ownership in. I do have, I think, $250,000 in real estate that I don't even know what's happening with it. But I do believe.
You're thinking too small.
Hold on. Let me thinking too small.
10x it.
I do believe in it, but exactly, I believe the last part of what you said. 10x and 100x it. At the same time, you talked about how Facebook, my timing was early. When I got into Facebook, every motherfucker on the planet said, don't do that. To me, I think real estate is great, and from a tax purpose, I want to do it. That's why I tried to buy our building, but they want too much fucking money for it. But for a shelter, commercial real estate, so I'm about that life. However, when I'm so close to people, I'm watching them, looking at their accounts, making tens of millions of dollars in crypto and NFTs, real estate sounds like I would rather suck 10 dicks at the same time.
No, I get it.
I want to talk like this because
it's
that's
old.
how. It's not old school. I think it's not just old school. It's like, would I regret in 10 years? Like, oh my God, I had an opportunity to invest, but here I am getting returns 10 years later at fucking 5% jerk off when I could have just been a little ballsy and took a shot.
Why would you get 5% returns in real estate?
I'm just talking shit.
Yeah.
But
Look, if you know what you're doing, first off, it's not an either or.
No, that's
It's
fair.
not an either or. It's not like you can only
That's
do
fair.
crypto or only
That's
NFTs or only real estate. Look, here's what I'll tell you about real estate. And I'm really nerding out on NFTs right now in the metaverse. I think it's phenomenal. One thing that we know for sure that's future proof is people will always need a place to live.
Yeah, I like that.
And they will pay for it. Whether it's in crypto or whether it's in cash, doesn't matter. They will pay for a place to live. Okay. And there are certain strategies in the real estate space where you can magnify your cash flow, right? Multifamily being one of them. Instead of buying one door, you buy a bunch of doors. Airbnbs. This new technology came out and made real estate rental game cool again, right? Right? Real estate's cool again. If you think about it, you should own some cash flowing assets. It doesn't have to be just multifamily or just Airbnbs or just NFT. Dude, I don't even care if you buy a fucking jet and you get forced depreciation, write it all off. Now you're a badass entrepreneur with a jet, and then you put it into service and you make 30 grand a month on it. Yeah. But you get a year or two of tax free. You need to be thinking about assets that are working for you while you're still doing all this cool shit that you do. Because you're going to continue. I'm telling you, Billy, every day that goes by, you're missing your moment where you can just sit around and play fucking video games and never, ever, ever think or worry about any of this shit.
I agree, and I need a bit better than that, and will. I 100% agree with that.
Is that my commitment?
Yeah, it's your commitment for sure. For me, I just need to set the percentage of money I put in every month and not think about it. But also too,
I got
first of all, y'all, let me pause. Here's the part that Cody's leaving out. I called last year and said, Cody, let me send you fucking 50, 100 grand right now this second. I said, just go do something with it. I don't give a fuck. Cody never called me.
That's not true. You put it in with Grant.
I did, but I told you I was giving you 100 grand too.
I know, and look, I just bought a lot in Sedona. We're gonna build
Cody's making moves and not taking his boy's money.
Look, get your checkbook out.
Gosh.
Get your checkbook out. We'll do a deal.
Now we'll do a deal.
No, I want to do a deal. The problem is I got too many people throwing money at me. So I saw you did it with Grant, and I was like, all right, pause.
Oh, fuck you. I'm thinking of here's where I believe my mechanism machine's going to happen. I'm a big time gamer and into tech. Like that was my first come up. I believe my thing is going to happen in virtual reality. There's a part of me that's on sideline for obsessing about VR and going all in. To me, like a trend that I thought was easy to spot in my eyes because I was so into it was when Facebook went public. I just didn't know enough about the stock market to take advantage of it in the way that I did. Peloton, when it came out, I had it on IPO. Facebook, even in the stock market when it did all this shit, I had fucking all kinds of fucking shit. I had Wayfair. I had literally like 8 stocks that like all fucking 4, 5, 6, 7x like solved the trends because that's my thing, business and tech. I didn't have the discipline in the stock market to understand the game of what to do with it. I had to learn that game. But I did learn that skill. I'm learning the game of crypto. I don't have a ton of money in it, but I'm playing with it, surrounding myself with guys. So I'm learning the game. So as we're listening, I'm not being a complete fuck.
You're explaining way too much right now. Nobody listening cares about.
Fuck you.
Just invest more money.
Yeah. But
that's the end result. All right. So a couple quick questions before we end. All right. What are you scared of?
No one listening cares.
Nobody cares.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. What are you scared of, Billy?
Something happened to my kid. Straight up. Or someone I love. Straight up. It's the only thing I'm really scared about. Honestly, to be real, and this is probably to a fault, if I did lose everything, I really wouldn't care. That's how it started too. I just go work and figure it out. That doesn't scare me. What scares me, something happened to someone I love. Death-defying.
Yeah.
I think about it like 80 times a day.
You ever lost anybody super close to you?
Whole bunch. Uncles, grandpa, all grandparents.
No, but I mean like best friends.
My investor, the one I told my investor, like one of my investors, my first investor, died, overdose.
Damn.
Yeah. So,
dude, I've made it to 44 and not one person that's been super close to me has passed away.
That is crazy.
I have no idea how I pulled it off this long.
Yeah, that made
I know it's coming though. My mom has cancer.
Shit.
My dad has some medical shit that he's dealing with right now. And I think about it all the time. Mm. And I'm just waiting. Like when I get a call early morning from my dad, my insides recoil. I freak out because I know it's coming and I just can't fathom.
Let me ask you a dark question. Let's say it happened right now.
Yeah.
How would it impact you?
I don't know, because I've never experienced anybody close to me dying, but
You think you would work as much?
I don't. Yeah, because I'm fucking narcissistic and I'm a freak and I'm a machine. Like I no, seriously, like this,
That's real.
I would
Okay, that's
hide.
real.
I think I would hide in the work. I think work for me is definitely a place I go where I feel more in control. That I hide from a lot of the other bullshit that I stress about.
That's real.
Let's end with something super positive, so we don't just have
I
everybody
kinda like
fucking
dark.
hate this podcast.
Yeah, I kind of like. Maybe that's what this podcast does. Is like, look, every episode we promise you will feel like shit. Whether it's about your finances or losing someone, then go listen to something else to feel good. But
Just me yelling at guests like, "Why aren't you investing? Buy real estate,
you fuckface.
fucking bozo, sell your Lambo."
Yeah.
We started some stories and we got sidetracked, but
I think the positive.
we're gonna have you back on.
Okay, I can wrap it up with a subject I think is valuable on here.
Drop some knowledge on some people.
Yeah, I'll put some game.
Give some game.
Because I haven't taught you guys shit so far. Maybe indirectly. Is investing is sexy. Investing is sexy because it implicitly implies don't do anything and make money. Fair enough. But I want to remind everybody, it's risk, but don't do anything to make money, right? Passive income, that's the buzzword that everybody uses. I just want to remind everyone, in order to do that, you have to make money first. And the fundamentals of making money are almost always, not exclusively, but almost always, having a unique skill set. My unique skill set to make money started off with being a Facebook ads guy when not a lot of people were talking about Facebook ads guy. And honestly, it's still undervalued and underrated. That's just facts. So there's one. Cody's, as he was talking about, he had a few. One of them was bookkeeping. Like he kind of slided it a little bit, but the truth is making $36,000 then was probably more like making $52,000 now, and is really solid for where he was at. But if he didn't know how to bookkeep, he could not have gotten that opportunity. When he got into real estate, he lost a whole bunch of money for years trying to acquire the skill set. Every successful person you talk to at least had an event where they learned the game of making money if they didn't come from it, right? If you come from money, then you get really good at multiplying money. Like shout out to Gary Vee. He talks about money all the time. He's a good multiplier of money. Because he started off with this $3 million dad's company. There's no slight against him. That's where he's at. But if you're coming from zero and you need to like figure it out, well, you're like, how do I make $100? It probably is because you lack skill sets and you can't solve any unique problems. The more unique problems you can solve, you can always make money. Doctors will always be paid because somebody will always need something to revive them and make them live longer. What problems can you solve? And if you can't, it means it's time to make only one investment, and that is into here. You got to be dope at something. And if you're not, and you just keep trying to invest and use the little bit of money that you have, you'll lose. Or you won't be patient enough, or you'll be too emotional about your cash. So you need to know the art of generating money before you do anything.
Dude, you nailed that.
Thanks.
Well, that's always step one. Step one, develop a skill, work your ass off. People drive me crazy when they just don't want to put in the work.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, how do I make $100,000? It's not that fucking hard.
Skill.
Nowadays, with technology, it's not hard.
Well, the second
but they're not
it,
willing to actually do what it takes to do it. But
then there's a second component, and this is the one that people really aren't willing to do.
What, live below their means?
Well, there's that. But there's one is a skill, okay? But the second part is everybody knows broke artists, and they're very skilled because they didn't learn how to sell. So you need to know your skill, but if you want to make money, you need to know how to sell. And then the trifecta, where you're really financially free, is you know how to generate leads so that you can sell to more people. That is what happened to me. And that is my greatest skill set, which is probably why I'm a little bit more riskier in regards to growing my business, investing in my business, because I really understand that art. But yeah.
Crushed it.
Investor Hub.
I'm gonna have to have you back on. We got a lot more to talk about. Some more shit to talk.
And side note, me and Cody were supposed to do a podcast called War on the Web, where we just argue about shit all the time. So
I think we still should.
I agree.
I need reasons to come back to San Diego.
It's the best city in the world.
Hey, thank you, Billie Jean. Is marketing. If you guys aren't following Billie Jean, how do they connect with you?
Just follow me on Instagram. Send me a dick pic or something.
At Billie Jean is marketing.
Yeah, Billie Jean is marketing. Keep following Cody. Guy knows his shit. He's the guy I call for a lot of advice. And then I listen to about 6% of it.
Boom.
Later, guys.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. Till next time, take care. Comb your hair. We're out.
Take care. Take care and comb your fucking hair.
Hey, thanks for being a subscriber of the Clever Investor Show. As a thank you gift, we wanted to give you something that we know is going to help you get started as a creative real estate investor. It's our Real Estate Success Kit, and it's completely free. Just go to www.reisuccesskit.com to customize your kit, but essentially it's a collection of 15 training tools designed to help you get results quickly as a creative real estate investor. From systems to lead generation to finding cash buyers to creative ways to close deals and get paid. Your free REI Success Kit is just a few clicks away. Once again, the website's www.reisuccesskit.com.